Okay. Okay.
It's a long fade. Okay.
Long fade. 1,000. Okay, now we're going to kind of wrap up the section on the first portion, which is the prepaid legal plan, and we're going to discuss the final portions of this, which are related to our conduct as individuals, our conduct as a company, and the responsibilities of the attorneys. So I just want to show you real quick, if you take a look at this section right here, it's going to be the last page in this section. This is the entire Missouri law on prepaid legal. It is 6 sections, 6 basically sentences or paragraphs, and that is the entire Missouri definition of law as it relates to prepaid legal. So let's talk about the dispensing of legal advice. Okay, first of all of us as associates, as licensed agents with Legal Shield, when is it appropriate to dispense legal advice?
Never.
Never. You can never dispense legal advice. You are not an attorney. If you are an attorney, it is appropriate to dispense legal advice, but only if they are a retained client of yours, not on behalf of Legal Shield or the prepaid legal industry. So, there is no reference point anywhere in Missouri law to any of this that we are talking about. Okay? There is some things under unethical marketing practices that we're going to go into a little bit further down the road. We're going to have a whole section that ties into that. So basically, we need to use common sense and good moral judgment. We don't approach people in a compromised position. We don't force them to purchase the service. We don't do anything that would be deemed as making someone feel uncomfortable. That is a violation of your license, and it's just bad business practice. It's bad for the company. So always, if you err on the side of protection for the public, which is what we're going to go into in the next sections, then you're going to be making good decisions, and that should help you with the test. Now, open and closed panel delivery. Okay. Is anybody comfortable explaining that? Okay, Mr. Stacy, go ahead.
Sure. Closed panel is open panel is what the companies did. They brought together a group of services that they wanted to provide help with, and they said that you can have an attorney. They went out and said, are there any attorneys out there that would like to provide these services at a discounted rate? Yes, some of them raised their hand. And so they would get a little bit of referrals, maybe 1 or 2 a year, regarding the plan that is an open panel. They wouldn't get very many references. And so we had that exactly same kind of plan up until 1987. What we found was that the attorneys were not very satisfied with that kind of an arrangement and didn't provide very good service. And so we changed our delivery system. We have a closed panel. Most of the services go through one large law firm in each state, and a portion of the membership fees are paid to that attorney firm every single month. And then at that point, all of those services are delivered through that provider attorney firm. So our panel is closed in the sense that we've recruited, trained, and hired the best attorney firms, and they provide our services primarily, and they are in charge of any referral attorneys and training those referral attorneys. So we have a closed panel. It's a tight system. It's a delivery system that's much more monitored by Legal Shield and provided to top quality legal services.
Perfect. Now let's condense that a little bit. And I appreciate that explanation, because there really is no explanation anywhere in Missouri law. Do you know why? Because there doesn't need to be. We're really the only ones that have a closed panel system. So I'm going to explain what that means, because that's really important. What the open panel system is you're going to get the services that are provided, and there's going to be any number of different attorneys that can provide that without a lot of quality control. And for the purpose of the insurance product that we provide, that's completely acceptable. So a side note, for the purpose of Legal Shield, that was not acceptable to us. We needed to maintain certain quality standards. We needed to make sure our members were taken care of a certain way. And that's why we implemented and developed the closed panel system, which basically means that one law firm, one attorney, one network of attorneys are designed to handle the needs of all the members in a particular area. Geographically, typically they're broken into states. So one law firm covers the entire state. If you live in Missouri and are trying to get your Missouri license, that law firm is DuBail Judge. Okay, so you have access to one law firm that has the ability to collect a significant amount of premiums so that they can have attorneys trained and ready to go to help you. And it's not so much how can I bill you, it's how can I help you. And that's something we preface. And I know that's not for purpose of the test, but for the purpose of understanding what you have, we use the closed panel system because the open panel system was not good enough for us. But virtually every other prepaid legal provider in the country uses that system. So, and this is getting back to the point of understanding who's asking the question. So, let me go back, and I referenced this earlier in the videos, but if someone asks you on the test, let's say a question were, if the prepaid legal attorney refuses to provide assistance to the covered member, what must happen? And there's going to be a multiple choice. And if we think about it from Legal Shield, we're going to get the answer wrong. If we think about it from prepaid legal service industry, we will probably get the answer right. So if the questions are A, B, C, and D, the first question is the attorney must provide the service for the member. If you think from Legal Shield's perspective, that's what you're going to choose. That is not true for the purpose of taking the test. For the purpose of taking the test, it is the responsibility of the insurance company to provide an attorney for the insured to be able to get the assistance that they need. And in an open panel system, that's how it works. If attorney 1 won't do it, attorney 2 probably will. If they won't, attorney 3. With Legal Shield, we have a whole different system. So you need to take Legal Shield out of the equation. You need to think from a prepaid legal perspective. And that means it is the responsibility of the insurance company, i.e. us as a company, to make sure that the member or the insured gets a service that they were promised under the policy. Does that make sense? Anybody have any questions about that? Okay. Ethical responsibilities of the attorney. That's going to be covered. I encourage you to read that in the plan. But we have a code of ethics for our attorneys. They also have a code of ethics that are required by the state in which they are licensed to be an attorney in that state. So they have to adhere to those guidelines. And some of that's highlighted in here, but for the purpose, again, of taking the test, when we go into the Director of Insurance and what the expectations are, which is going to be the very next section, we're going to talk about the systems, how they work, and the responsibilities attached to that.